Visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gun!
He'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
On the run, it's Fournette. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That good for 19 and a first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Right back to him on 1st down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Get him, boy! Get him, boys! Tight end right! Detroit! We got 3.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that. They might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Oh, eluding the tackle. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. but how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen, but everyone's talking, communicating. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble lost. Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. 3rd and short yardage, Cousins. They got a man, it's Woods. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, we got 4. We got 4. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Cousins on the keeper, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive. Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Over! Here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Watch you now, Barney.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll drop the throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Here we go now. 319. 319.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Cousins to throw it. The left side caught by Diggs. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. He got 29 yards that time.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really...
Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Try to get it to Woods. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Ben Gideon in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And it's third down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
57's the mic. Watch 57. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. He's going to air one out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big gain of 39 on third.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now back to throw. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
Tight end right. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch the slant. Motion. Gun.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play. So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
They begin the drive with Hines. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 4 down. 4 down.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Gotta get the point. Get on the point right here. Key. Listen to me.
Now a handoff to Richard. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
Let's go.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Go ahead. Hey, 4 down.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Only 2 there on the dump off. It's 3rd down.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Looked good, though. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. To the air again. It's Cousins. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window.
Right,
They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
3-19.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Gun! Watch him now, Barney!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
One thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
4 down. Check.
Gun!
On play action, they'll throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Being chased, and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Dewan Smoot able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
Well, maybe that can give them a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
There it is, kid. There it is. Hey, baby.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, watch the shift.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Gun!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on first down. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Leopard! Gun!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Ben Gideon in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11.
Gun! Now let's go!
He'll look to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And out now come the Vikings. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
The hunt! 180! Two.
24's on the move. 24.
Gun!
Undercrush.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. The kick by Carlson is good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Back to throw here. Looking long for Westbrook, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Throwing, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball. Woods the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Cousins. Forced out to his left. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39, green.
They'll set up a throw. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That one complete. He finds Shark. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And taken right at the 35. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Strong left. Strong left.
Jahan, what do you need?
Check me out. Check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
Wide.
Mike, 36.
Black.
6.
Cousins.
Big stop. Let's go.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10.
Key the tight end.
Jahan, what do you need?
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
Richard on the toss. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd down, Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
Yeah, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
To throw, Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit.
Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 20, 10, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski, and that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. Sturgis adds the PAT, and that'll make it 24-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the third quarter in Carson. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Jahan, what do you need?
Watch 36. 36 to Mike.
We own them. We own them. Wait, Jahan. Done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
We're going. Let's go.
Kill.
Here's a give to Richard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Oh, look at the juke. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the ground, Richard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a very good return, but a penalty marker is down. I'm not sure what this is going to be. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Back to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. And he fends him off. He sets to fire deep. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jaguars get a score closer. So the Jags will keep the offense out there as they'll decide to go for 2.
Over. Set. 3-19.
Here's a toss coming right. And he'll find his way in for two. And we're back to a two-score game. The lead's cut to 16. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Richard. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep it. Stephon Diggs. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 62 yards. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. From the gun, here's Cousins. Flushed out right. And it is incomplete. A strong safety, Barry Church, all over that one and knocked it away. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Elsewhere, they're on to the 4th quarter at MetLife Stadium. And the Ravens have added to their lead. A win would be their first of the young season. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They have the big cushion, Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Cousins here to throw. Rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now Cousins trying to lay one up deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now out come the Jags. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Outside coming, outside coming.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Set, blue, 90.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings are going to win this football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
Gun.
Throwing here, Cousins. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for... And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A.J. Boye with a pick. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Check nickel.
No, check, Patriot.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. He's at the 40. 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2.
Over.
Check 26, check 26.
Here we go now.
Here's a toss coming right. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Two.
Hey, 4 down.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to air one out. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Minnesota, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.